Improper use of data fields violation. This is really just a catch-all, and it's meant to maintain consistency across the fields that exist within Add Edit. This refers to MLS Rules and Procedures Section 306.3. What that says is each MLS field may contain only the information that is intended for that specific field. So this rule is essential for maintaining accuracy, consistency, really compliance across all of the listings. It's meant to maintain that data integrity. So what we'll do is we'll review what cannot be entered in various fields, why it matters, and if we get to the point where we need to correct anything, we'll just talk quickly about how we can correct those fields as well. So MLS Rule 306.3 is pretty clear. It says that every data field within the MLS must contain only the information that's relevant to that field. When unrelated or prohibited information is added, it really compromises the data integrity, and it will trigger compliance action. So some of the examples here of prohibited content would include, and it's not limited to, but it kind of includes, contact information such as phone numbers, emails, agent names, where they shouldn't be, showing instructions, offer procedures, submission instructions, open house dates, status updates, agent-only notes, or internal comments. And those are fine in specific places where they're meant to be. They're just not meant to be entered into wherever you'd like, public remarks and things like that. So including any of these content in the wrong fields would result in a violation. So the key guideline here is simple. Really, a field may contain only the information that's intended for that field, nothing else. If this is really critical and it's strictly enforced, any content in a field that's not supposed to be there would result in immediate action. It could include fines. It could include removal of the non-compliant information, and violations often delay listing activity. And they could require an agent to re-enter the corrected information. So in the public remarks section, only certain type of information are permitted. So that would be, physical characteristics of the property, room count, square footage, architectural details, finishes, things like that. Lot and exterior features, neighborhood and location information, lawful seller instructions, and property disclosures. So in other words, public remarks should describe the property, not the process. When you think about it. Public remarks may not include contact details such as phone numbers, emails, agent names, office information, showing instructions, lockbox codes, or access procedures. Obviously, we don't want that information as public knowledge. Offer procedures, agent-only notes or internal messages. If any of these appear in public remarks, it could result in the entire public remarks field being deleted and a fine being imposed. This means your whole property description would be removed. So let's try to avoid that. Agent remarks. So agent remarks are designed for the professional communication between brokers. They also have strict restrictions. So the prohibited agent remarks include any language that violates New York State license law, of course. Antitrust restricted language, such as anything related to commission fixing or limited competition. Instructions that discourage cooperation with other brokers. I think most of us understand this, but it's worth mentioning. So just like public remarks, the violations could result in an entire agent remarks field being deleted along with an automatic fine. So if we do find ourselves in non-compliance, some steps that we can use to correct this violation. First of all, obviously, we want to review all the fields in our listing before we submit that listing. And if we have to, let's pay special attention to public remarks, agent remarks, especially since these fields receive the most violations. Let's also remove any prohibited content, and it could be, contact information, personal identifiers, showing instructions, offer procedures, internal notes. Let's also take a look at our agent remarks field. And let's make sure that only contains lawful, cooperative, compliant language. Once we've done all that, we can go ahead and resubmit our listing. If you have to, keep a record of your changes to help prevent any future issues. And if you do need any additional help, this improper use of data fields is again under section 306.3 under the MLS Rules and Procedures section, which can be found in our knowledge base. Just a few reminders: all violations result in an automatic fine under section 11 for this Rules and Procedures 306.3. Full compliance details, examples, best practices are available in that document. If you need help interpreting any of this, you can also contact the MLS.